ka tau mai mo te kaupapa te rā. Nga manaakitanga ki runga ki tēnā o tātou e hui nei. Pai noa, teiri ki kiringi tū hei tia. E hoki na whakaaro ki te wā. Anāna, te wāhi nei whakatuwhera. Nā reira me mihi rā ki ai a paki. Ki nā mata kei runga i a tātou. Tēnei te whakahui nei, tēnei te mihi te poroporo aki. E wana te rangi. E wana hoki o tātou rui mata mō rātou. Kore rawa. E ware i te ngā kau. Nō reira kūtū kei ngā mate. E moi, takoto mai. Tēnei ka mihi ki tō tātou manihiri tuarangi. Kia koe, Elma, patai mai koe, ka wāhi, i tō iwi Navajo, i Amerika. Tēnei tonu te mihi kia koe, tēnā koe. Kei te koro mātua, Mea Livingston, tēnei hoki te mihi kia koe. Anei mātau, te wānanga o te arua, anei ngā huru o ngā waiwai o Bentham. E mihi nei, i te aruatanga o te Waharoa, hei tohu i te kotahitanga o te wānanga o te arua me te kaunihera. Hei tohu i te kotahitanga o te hapori, anei tātou ngā iwi, anei tātou te hapori. E noho nei, e kautako nei te kaupapa o te rā. Nō reira ko tēnei mihi, e whakatau nei a tātou. E whakatau i te ahuatanga rā, i tuku nei tō tātou tohunga i te ata. Ka ki tō tātou Waharoa. Ka tēnei ka mihi ki a tātou. Kāre toenga, kāre whakaroro i te kōrero. Kei ngā rangatira ke nā kōrero. Tēnā kūtou, huri noa. Tēnā tātou katoa. Whakataurangia ke te hono tātai hono rātou, te hunga ko whakawhetū ki a rātou. Āpiti hono tātai hono, tātou ngā mahuetanga iho. A e koro mai kui mā tātou, tēnā kūtou, tēnā tātou, te wāki atu.
Kia ora whānau. I have the wonderful job of just introducing our speakers for today. By way of introduction, my name is in Māori ko Pene Wahanui Hemi. In English it's Benjamin Hemi. And I am the event coordinator for the Waipa District Council. Today to save acknowledging individuals, I'll leave that to our wonderful mayor. I will acknowledge all of my family and friends, and if you're Māori, everyone's family. We have no friends. So kia ora whānau. It's lovely to be here today. First and foremost, I would like to firstly, we have four speakers today. We're going to begin with his worship, Mayor Alan Livingston, and I now give you to him to begin our speeches. Thank you.
Tēnā koe, e te kai karakia. Koutou nā rangatira, nā kaumaihi o te wānanga o Aotearoa. I mihi nā kao kia koutou. Nō reira, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou katoa. Wānanga Pohiri and Chief Executive Bentham O'Hare and Wānanga staff, ka mātua Charlie and ka mātua Huki, Waipa District Councillors, Te Awamutu Community Board Chair Dean Taylor and members of the Community Board, Brent Mexted from Stewart and Cavalier, invited guests. I did have an apology from members of Ngā Iwi Tōpua Waipa, but thank you very much, Galen, for just having a break in your meeting and coming along here to join with us. But I do have an apology from Chief Executive Gary Diet and Senior Management of Council who are unable to be here. Firstly, great to have you all here. Could I just say it's unfortunate with the weather, but in turn we were forewarned by the weather forecaster, so we're all prepared, and it's a sign of something very important and a celebration. So let's enjoy it in the meantime. Kia ora and welcome to this significant event with the unveiling of this Waharoa as a unique entranceway to our Te Awamutu Walk of Fame. And this occasion is unique and very special in a number of ways. But firstly, just a bit of a background to set the scene for where we are today. The Te Awamutu Walk of Fame Committee, and there's a number of committee members here, and thank you very much, and a special welcome to Bob and Barbara Vale for coming out on this morning to join with us. The Te Awamutu Walk of Fame Committee was established under the council umbrella some years ago, in fact 9 years ago. It considered appropriate criteria for inductees into the Walk of Fame, and then those Te Awamutu people who achieved that strict criteria and who were deserving of being inducted into this walk. The next challenge was to determine where the walk should be placed and what form the design should take. Now we have this superb Walk of Fame with a stainless steel po representing each inductee. During this protracted process over the 9 years, one member of the committee with a very active mind and a doodling, drawing ability was at work. This person wanted to add a feature that would provide real significance to our town, its history and its people. An entranceway was talked about, and still that person kept thinking and doodling. Now we can marvel at the end result and learn of the story that it tells. That person was Marie Panapa, or Auntie Ma as most of us know her. Thanks to her artistic ability, her vision, her positiveness and her creative qualities, the Te Awamutu community will have and enjoy an art form that is a feature in itself and also a stunning entrance to our Walk of Fame. With Auntie Ma came Te Wānanga o Aotearoa and its Chief Executive, Bentham O'Hare. Bentham willingly offered that the artwork should be a gift by the Wānanga to Te Awamutu to reflect the collaborative partnership that exists between that organisation and its community. Thank you, Bentham and the Wānanga, for this tremendous gesture of an artwork that depicts the history of Te Awamutu and the role that waka played in travelling up the Mangapiko and Mangahaeo to transport people and produce. To me, it also depicts the travel of your institution from very humble beginnings 25 years ago to the nationwide provider that it now is. Importantly, the Wānanga has remained here in Te Awamutu, and socially and commercially we have enjoyed the benefits of that. While I've thanked Auntie Ma, I also thank the Wānanga team of carvers and artists who she press-ganged, if I can use that word, Auntie Ma, into contributing their visions and skills. To Mike Matchett, Paul Anderson, Eddie Nakora, Keriti and others, thank you for your hui and this finished product. Another contributor to this collaborative and community partnership has been local engineering firm Stewart and Cavalier. Brent Mexted has been that contact there, and the problems with design and product, and I understand there have been quite a few, have been mere challenges for Brent and the Stewart and Cavalier staff to solve. Thank you, Brent, for your support. The Council, on behalf of the Te Awamutu community, has also been heavily involved in this partnership. My thanks to Max Ward and his staff for preparing the base for this Waharoa, to Benjamin Hemi for fronting the ceremony, and to Kathy Plowright, my PA, for organising the ceremony. Finally, may I again say thank you to everyone who has formed this vision and then made it a reality in physical and financial terms. A particular and grateful thank you to our wānanga for your gift, your tauanga to Te Awamutu. You all have every right to be proud of the end result. But more importantly, we now can all be extremely proud of this unique Waharoa that portrays, both during the day and the night, the past and the rich heritage of Te Awamutu, that portrays the future with its visionary and stylistic design, and proudly salutes the outstanding achievers of our Te Awamutu region. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Your Worship. Our next speaker, firstly before I introduce him, I want you to know that he and I have a long relationship. It goes back to the World Indigenous Peoples Conference on Education. Bentham and I, he met together. He'd asked me if I would be the site manager for that event. Little did I know that not only was it a huge undertaking, but it would be the start of what would be a great friendship. And for me, it's important that the wānanga is the chief executive is also a great person, because I remember when Uncle Buck Nin was my art teacher at Church College, and he told me about this university that he was starting, and he told me that I should look out for it because it's going to be huge. Little did I know that it would also be magnificent, just as Uncle Buck Nin was. And I remember in his passing, some of the people that were there that the wānanga now look to as the mentors and great people as part of that institution. So our next speaker, great friend, part of a great institution, Chief Executive Bentham. Thank you.
Tuatahitanga he mea ke nei rā ki tō tātou matanui tarangi i ono mana ki tanga maha. Ko ho mai ki a tātou mai ngā rā ki muri tatu mai ki tēnei haora. Aha koa kei te ua. I tēnei wā kapua ki runga i tarangi. Kei mua no atu i te kapua me te ua kei te whiti tonu mai te rā ki runga i a tātou i tēnei rā. Hoi anō ka mihi tonu au ki tō tātou kingi tu heitia. O ti rā tana hoa hāta whai o ti rā te kawiara ki whānui tonu. Tau iho mai ngā manaakitanga ki runga i aia. Rere hau, pai mai rere te kawiara ki whānui tonu. E kore e taia te ware i ngā mate, kei rungi a tātou, hinga mai nei, hinga mai nā ngā marae maha puto no te motu, moi mai rā koutou i roto i ngā ringaringo i te ariki. Koutou ngā kau mātua, e Uncle Charlie, Huki Tarangi, Whaero Vina, koutou rā i ngā kui, Auntie Mā, koutou rā i ngā kui ia, e ngā karaua, e whakaranga tira nei tēnei kaupapa i te rā nei, reira te mihi ki a koutou. O tina mea ke nei rā kia Richard, kia koe, hara mai nei ki te tautoko i tēnei kaupapa. Your Worship, Alan Livingston, Mayor, thank you for enabling us to establish this relationship, to build this Waharoa, this for this community. I can remember and I would also like to acknowledge Dr. Rongo Wetere, founder and CEO, inspiration to this institution of Te Wānanga Aotearoa and his contribution, and continue to do that even though he no longer lives in Aotearoa. His presence here continues through us and the work that we do. What I would like to say is that back in 2005, when our organisation was going through some challenges and we welcomed the ACT Party onto our head office down here in Te Awamutu, Mayor, I remember you standing up as one of our first speakers to advocate on our behalf, and I would like to continue to acknowledge you and to the Waipa District Council to coming to our aid at a time of need, and I just want to ensure that we don't forget those sorts of things. And in 2006, when I was appointed as the CEO, I was asked to consider by the Crown managers at the time to consider moving the head office from Te Awamutu to Hamilton. And I was trying to work out in my head, how can you take a trunk and shift it away from its roots? It may look good for a short period of time, but over time it will wither because the sustenance that it's maintained and enhanced through the nutrients and the people here in Te Awamutu, it needed to stay here in Te Awamutu, and it's great to see it here and continue to be here, and I'm hoping absolutely that it becomes a permanent part of Te Awamutu as it has done for the last 25 years. It was really important for the wānanga to express one, its thanks, but also to highlight and acknowledge the relationship that Te Wānanga o Aotearoa, previously Waipa Kōkiri Arts, Aotearoa Institute, and now Te Wānanga o Aotearoa has with the Te Awamutu community. And this was a small token of acknowledging that relationship, one of reciprocity, one of mutual respect through the support of this Waharoa here today, but also to acknowledge the leaders that have come from this region, represented on the po in this Walk of Fame. So we're here to stand in solidarity. We look further opportunities in ways that Wāna can demonstrate and support our community here in Te Awamutu. I would like to also acknowledge Brent Mixted and the team from Stewart and Cavalier. This is our second project. You may have seen when you drive into Hamilton the redevelopment of our Glenview site, manga called Tuku Tuku, and the 3 niho teeth, whale's teeth. They were also done in collaboration with Stewart and Cavalier. So we're looking to take our next project into Gisborne. So like the wānanga, started from here, but I suppose the nourishment and the sustenance that we get from Te Awamutu enables not only the wānanga to build a national presence currently, but also take some of our partners with us from Te Awamutu. So Brent, to you and the team from Stewart and Cavalier, thanks very much. Can I please acknowledge also Auntie Ma, Paul and the whole team for the people that have actually designed this. I had the real easy part today of unveiling it and reading the sign, but I want to acknowledge the people behind the scenes that actually did a lot of the work. And can I please also introduce Alma, Dr. Alma Guy, sitting here next to our mayor. He is the CEO, president of the Navajo Technical College. And for the whānau who are here and community members who are here, the wānanga has had long-term relationships, Indigenous peoples across the world. And it's great to be able to host you, Alma, and it's great to have you here today as part of our whānau, as part of our team and our community to help celebrate the unveiling of this Waharoa. We feel blessed and privileged to be able to host you. Kura noho ngā kōrero ki a tātou I tēnei wā. Engari mā te atua tātou hei manaaki hei te aki, ki te ora tikaha me te māramatanga ki rungi a tātou. It's just finally just again a privilege and a blessing to be here today on behalf of all of the staff in Te Wānanga o Aotearoa, and there's 1,400 nationally, across 180 sites nationally, and the 37,000 students and our council members that are here stand in solidarity together with our kahui Amorangi. Tēnā koutou, kia ora tātou katoa.
I also know the importance of listening to Auntie Ma. I was here yesterday and she looked at me and she said, I need a tent. I said, I don't have a tent, get me a tent. So you've got a tent because we knew it was going to rain today, but it wouldn't take away from this wonderful occasion. So again, thank you very much, Bentham, for taking the time to address us. Next, as he's already indicated, we have Dr. Alma Guy. Just to let you know, before he joined the Navajo Technical College, he was an executive director and deputy director of the Navajo Nation's Department of Education, a position that is appointed by the Navajo Nation President. During Dr. Guy's tenure with the Navajo Nation government, many outstanding programs were established, such as 7 million and 6 million trust programs for, that's dollars that is, trust programs for handicapped and vocational education respectively. Navajo Medicine Man Apprenticeship Program and a teacher education. These programs were institutionalized and are in full operation. Dr. Guy completed his Bachelor of Arts degree in Special Education at the University of Arizona, his Master's in Rehabilitation Administration from the University of San Francisco, and his doctoral degree in Rehabilitation and Special Education Leadership at the University of Arizona. Dr. Guy serves on regional and national associations. Now I'd like to introduce to you Dr. Alma J. Guy.
Thank you. Yeah, what a nice introduction. Good morning. It's a real honor for me to take part in your wonderful celebration this morning. It's a real honor to sit next to the mayor, as well as CEO Bentham. I'd just like to also acknowledge the board members of this wonderful institution, as well as the students, faculty, and staff. I think you've all done a wonderful, wonderful job. I've learned about some of the significant things that you've developed in terms of reaching out to your communities, reaching out to your students, and as well as maintaining the culture and the language, and how successful you've made in integrating those important teaching into our today's society. So I just really want to commend you for all the wonderful work you've done. And that's what brought me here, is to learn about your ways, how you were able to achieve what you've done so far. And it's known throughout the world. And it's something that is very positive, something that is very commendable. And your celebration today, as you acknowledge the past leaders, the people who had the vision, and as well as the contributions of the various partnerships you were able to build. And that's evident today, and it's going to continue into the future. I guarantee you that, because I'm not the only one seeing that, and it's evident by the wonderful rain, the wonderful moisture that we're receiving right now. And it's a blessing in our culture, and it's going to continue. It's going to continue. You guys are going to continue to develop, and you're going to continue to excel, to continue to develop new levels of excellence and innovation. So I'm just really pleased that I'm part of this wonderful occasion and this wonderful masterpiece, whoever designed it. It's so beautiful and very appropriately designed. And I'm just very thankful about what you've done. It also benefits my people as well, because I learned from what you were able to accomplish. And I was going to do a little blessing in our way. And we use a corn pollen. And a lot of times we want to walk in beauty. And I'm going to hold off on that, because we don't do that when it's raining. So I'll do that first thing in the morning. And I promise you that. And it's usually a lot of times in our prayers, we say beauty behind me. And it's referring to our ancestors, people that had passed. Beauty in front of me is a beauty, those that are going to be born, that those are going to continue maybe after we're gone. And beauty all around us, not only just us people, but other people, other living things that we live with, the birds, the cows. I see a lot of dairy cattle out there, and people that live in the mountains, people that live in the water. And so that's what I'm going to say my prayer for tomorrow. But I do really appreciate the hospitality that I've received so far. I didn't think of receiving such a warm and a very special hospitality. You are all wonderful, wonderful people. Thank you very much.
I'm not sure what you've heard, Dr. Guy, but I've always been taught, and it's something I believe, that through my whakapapa, through my genealogy, that my ancestors once came from your great nation. So you are certainly my cousin today, and it's wonderful to have you here. Next, I asked Paul Anderson is going to address us. He's going to give us the background about the Waharoa. I asked him, would you like me to introduce you a particular way? He said, just say Chair Bro. So I'll introduce Chair Bro.
Kia ora tātou. Ngā tuatahi. Ngā kanu i te mihi ki te atua. Ko ia te tīmatanga me te whakamutunga ngā mea katoa. Ngā tuarua, ka mihi hoki, ko tātou king, tu heitea. E noho ana i rungi taumata o ana tūpana me tana whaia, me kai mari ki ia. Ngā rātou ngā tini mate, haere, haere, haere. Kia tātou katoa ngā kanohi oro rātou mā, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā tātou katoa. E mihi ana ki a koe, Āti Mā. Ko koe i whakatoa te kāpano, o ngā mahi nei, kua puta mai ai. Ka nui te mihi ki a koe, e koe. The seed was planted some years ago for this Waharoa and for the Walk of Fame. The vision and idea put forward at that time was not agreed to immediately by the powers that be, nor was it set in motion by the artists who were approached to create something that could stand as an acknowledgement to the people who had made significant contributions to the community of Te Awamutu and the wider Waipa district. All of this may not have come to fruition. It could possibly have withered and blown away in the wind. But for the passion, the drive, and the vision of our kuia, Aunty Mā, who kept true to her vision. Just like the whakatauki written on the pillar that states, ki ngā whakaeke haumi, bring together those who can join the sections of a canoe. Aunty Mā brought together educators, counsellors, artists, engineers, administrators, builders, signwriters, all these people with diverse skills and expertise who were necessary in creating this space and this sculpture. With a maternal nudge, they came together, either happily or kicking and screaming, to share their know-how and talents, culminating in the creation of this magnificent Waharoa. This waka represents the journeys of our ancestors, of all of us here today, Māori and Pākehā, all people of our community, moving forward through calm waters and rough waters together. The pattern you see around the waka is called te mata kupenga, which represents movement, abundance, and the principles of working in unison to attain success and achievement for the good of all people. Nō reira, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā tātou katoa.
Chair Bro, that was wonderful. Thank you very much. Our concluding speaker, we have there Brent Mexted. I don't know a lot about him, but I did ask a few questions. And one thing I have found is he is a can-do man. And that's important because you need a can-do man that can do wonderful structures such as just Waharoa. But I also know he's a can-do man because I said that the chair's in the way of Aunty Mā, can you move it? So he moved it. And there was a bin right here yesterday and said the bin's in the way of our speeches. Can you move it? So he moved it. So I like having people that can do things. We appreciate that. So I'd like to introduce you now to, from Stewart and Cavalier, the engineering group, put this together as Brent Mexted.
Tēnā koutou katoa. Bentham, Marilyn, the board, everyone, welcome. You know, I've been looking at this thing, sketch, concept, photographs, all sorts of things for months, and I'm actually still blown away today when I see it up there myself. You know, a wee while ago, and I say a wee while ago, I think it was May last year, I I was down at the wānanga with Auntie Ma having a cup of tea, and she said to me, Brent, I want to ask you a question. And when Auntie Ma asks you a question, you listen. She said, do you think you can design and build me a stainless steel waka? And I said, does it have to float? She said, no. And I said, I'm your man. And that's where our story began. I have to be honest, there was a lot of head scratching, a lot of swearing, a lot of sketches, designs and models, and a huge amount of yes-no answers and questions like, you know, how are we going to build this thing? But we were determined, and we got there. And you know, at no stage did any of my team say to me, we can't do this. I know they were thinking it at times, but their determination was always there. The next stage for us from that concept to design and stuff was actually physically building this thing. We used a lot of modern techniques for the structure inside the waka, and from we had computerized laser cutting and plasma and automated welding. The biggest and the final challenge for us was actually forming the hull, the outer structure of it, and we had to actually draw on an 80-year-old retired consultant. This chap used to build exterior panels for Aston Martins and Jaguars, and he provided us with those skills to our guys to mould that hull, to get that seamless, beautiful picture you can see today. You know, whilst we did use a lot of state-of-the-art machinery in building it, the machinery that we used to form the outer hull was actually 50 years old. It's still an art, like is used down at the Wānanga today. You know, Stewart and Cavalier have been involved in local projects for 50 years. There was the original town clock, the Welcome to Rosetown Wall, lots of dairy factory upgrades, the main street upgrade, the Visitors Information Centre, the flagpole, and the original Waipa District Council buildings are here in Te Miru. I think those ones are still standing, aren't they, Alan? Yeah. And this one equally will stand the test of time. You know, sometimes this project really felt like a gentle walk, and then a crazy marathon, but it's certainly been a great journey for me. To my fellow project members at Stewart and Cavalier and the Wānanga, I just say thank you very much. Bentham, thank you for your leadership, and we've been very proud to be involved with the Waharoa. Finally, I've got a very special thank you here to our project manager, Auntie Ma. It's been a wonderful journey and an absolute pleasure to work with you. And from the team at Stewart and Cavalier and everyone else here, we'd just like to give you a wee gift to say thank you very much. Thank you.
Not a bad guy, eh? Giving flowers to Auntie Ma. We like him now. Hey, that brings to the conclusion. So under the governance of our kaumatua, the Mayor has asked me that when we do make our way over to the virtual pavilion, if we could make our way down the pathway, and we'll be governed by our kaumatua. But listen, in conclusion, on behalf of the Waipa District Council, I would want you to know that it is indeed a privilege for us to be part of this. I've been working for the council for 2 years. I grew up a Waipa boy in Temple View, and then someone moved the boundaries. And now I live in Hamilton. But my nieces and nephews still go to Koromatua, which is a Waipa school. So my roots are still Waipa. And for me, it's a privilege to be here today to be part and parcel of a community that embraces all culture, and ultimately respects the tangata whenua, the people of this country, the people of this wonderful district. It is a privilege for me, on behalf again of the Waipa District Council in Te Wānanga o Aotearoa, we thank you for this morning. Kia ora.